Unite beyond boundaries. Innovate together. Joe's PANKRATION 2024. No border.
Hi everyone, my name is Darya Petrashka and I'm an AWS community builder and AWS authorized instructor. Today, we will explore how to build an AI chat assistant with Amazon Bedrock agent. First, a quick fact that sparked my motivation to build and start this project. No surprise that we are dealing with a great amount of information nowadays, but I actually was surprised to learn that it grew so fast, literally from nothing. And we need to accept this challenge and deal with this all informational overflow. Some of you might be already familiar with a service called Amazon Bedrock. Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed service providing access to vast choice of foundation models. Models like Llama, Mistral, Claude, Stable Diffusion, Titan, Jurassic, Command. You can access all these models via a single API. Amazon Bedrock allows you to experiment, evaluate, and customize foundation models. Last year, a new feature was introduced, Bedrock agents. But what is an agent? An agent is an orchestrational software that guides the workflows between the user request, the foundation model, external data sources, and applications. Agents use the foundation model as their reasoning brain. The actions an agent is allowed to take are defined in the separate instructions that are appended to the prompt. But how does it work under the hood? Agents often use a React framework that combines chain of thought reasoning with action planning. React stands for reasoning and action. So it guides a model to create step-by-step action plans. React structures prompts to include a sequence of one or more questions, thought, actions, and observations. So the question is a user-requested task or problem to solve. The thought is a reasoning step that demonstrates to the model how to tackle the problem and identifies an action to take. The action is an API that the model can invoke from an allowed set of APIs. And the observation is the result of carrying out the action. A set of instructions defines the action that the model is able to choose. Let me introduce my project, AI Chat Assistant Agent. It was made to automate and speed up the reading and processing of Telegram chats. So you can interact with the agent via a simple chat. And you can see the example on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, you can see an example of a system-prepended prompt that is designed to guide the agent on how it should act. What this AI chat assistant agent can do, it can pull messages from a certain chat or multiple chats. It can summarize messages. It can translate if the messages are in a language other than English, but you can customize this feature, for example, if you want to translate messages to Japanese. And also it can, very useful, it can answer custom questions, helping to search for the required information. For example, on the right-hand side, I asked the agent to figure out when the hackathon deadline. So there is no need to go to the chat and search for this information. Here you can see the agent architecture. The main interaction is happening between a user and Amazon Bedrock agent, as you saw via the chat. Lambda function contains Python code for tools or actions. It is like a toolbox where each tool is designed to accomplish a specific action. One Python tool is designed to pull out messages from Telegram. It looks up the required chat ID by its name in DynamoDB, and then it returns the messages as output. The next tool is designed for chat summarization. It accepts messages and uses the Amazon Titan model to summarize them. These tools are called when we need to translate messages. First, Amazon comprehends, it identifies the language, so the model can decide on whether the translation is needed. And then Amazon Translate carries the translation and returns translated text. But how do we define actions that our agent is able to take? We have already seen that we use a system-prepended prompt that gives instructions to the agent, but we need more specific definition of these APIs with inputs and outputs. So we created an open API specification JSON file and put it in a three bucket. Our agent refers to this file like a detailed toolbox description. Now, let's build the agent. At the first step, we need to create a Telegram bot and obtain the token. Then, to store chat IDs and chat names, we need to create a DynamoDB table. Because we will be referring to the required chat by its name, and our tool will search for its ID in the DynamoDB table. The second step is to create our toolbox. We need to create the Lambda function that contains the required tools. So tools are Python functions designed as APIs, so they can be called by the agent. And we don't need to forget to add necessary permissions to our Lambda function to let it accomplish the required actions. Now we can start building the agent itself. First, we're going to walk into the Amazon Bedrock console. Then we need to choose agents from the navigation pane and then hit Create Agent. All we need at this step is to provide an agent name and optionally some description. And now we can be more specific and add details about our agent in Agent Builder. We have an option to select different models. The model will be a reasoning brain for our agent. Currently, we can choose from various Anthropic Claude models as well as Amazon Titan model. They are different in behavior and in terms of price, so feel free to experiment and check what model will be the best for your use case. After that, we need to provide instructions for the agent. You already saw an example template designed to guide the agent on how it should act. Also, there are additional settings. For example, you can specify if the user input allowed or not. And the next one, we need to connect our agent to its tools or actions. We need to create an action group. So first, simply provide a name for your action group. You can add several action groups to a single agent. Then you need to select a group type. One option is to define your action group with function details. It is for specifying this function in a table-like UI format. Alternatively, you can define your action group with API schema. This Open API JSON schema is in a 3 bucket that you have already seen on the architecture diagram. So here on this step, we just simply specify the path to the S3 bucket where this schema lives. And now we need to connect the Lambda function so the agent can invoke the correct API from a Lambda function. Note that we have different options here. For example, the agent can return control to the invoking application, so you can implement any logic in your preferred backend service. And here is the optional step. We can connect the agent to a knowledge base. This is useful for retrieval augment generation, or RAG, where the agent can be fueled with additional information queried from a knowledge base. But for this project, this step is optional. And here are some considerations and disclaimer and limitation when you build an agent. First, you need to make sure that you have secure access to APIs and data. Don't forget to store secure your Telegram bot token. Second, you need to make sure that the input is validated and sanitized to prevent malicious injections. Also, think carefully about who can access your agent and do not grant excessive permissions where not needed. Make sure to do testing before you launch the project. And this particular project relies heavily on Telegram Messenger integration and Telegram APIs. You need to keep in mind that it can change in the future, and not every messenger allows to pull out messages so easy. And also, currently, Bedrock Agent supports a limited type of input modalities, so you can use text messages to interact with your agent. Now, it also accepts uploaded files in a preview mode. You can use it for simple files manipulations. But if you want to use, for example, voice command, you need to think about additional workarounds to add it. And also, agents is designed for reasoning and it is highly customizable. But if you want to have something simple, for example, your messages pulled and summarized every day in the evening, you would be better consider a trigger response architecture. In this case, Lambda function with a simple trigger would work. Consider Bedrock agent for use cases when the reasoning is required. So let's wrap up. A Bedrock agent can act as a smart assistant, helping you in various tasks where the reasoning is required. Building an agent is relatively easy because you don't need to have specific knowledge of foundation models. You don't need to design it from scratch. You can jump in directly and build it for your use case. And if you want to try my AI chat assistant agent, you can scan the QR code. You will find a GitHub project with code and detailed instructions. Feel free to have it as a starting point for your agent. And I'm excited to see what you can build from it. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.